Hey guys, let's have a serious chat about mental health. I really struggled with whether or not to make a video like this. It takes some vulnerability, a lot of self-reflection and honesty to talk about this, for me anyway. But I've had a really rough mental health week, and someone needs to hear this. So I have struggled with anxiety, panic attacks, depression, on and off my whole life, starting about age 8. Is when I had my first big panic attack and had to start getting professional help. And it's kind of continued throughout my adult life, or into my adult life. It's sometimes things that are situational can trigger those feelings, but it's really more internal. Some days I wake up and I have nothing to be worried about. It's a normal day. I'm looking forward to the things on the docket for the day. I'm healthy, loved, but I wake up scared, really scared. For someone who doesn't have anxiety, maybe you love somebody with anxiety and you're trying to understand them better. Imagine a bear is chasing you. That full-on terrified feeling of, oh my God, there's a bear chasing me. My life is in danger. Sometimes people with anxiety wake up with that same adrenaline, that same looming fear, that same fight or flight when there's nothing chasing us. We know it's silly. Telling us that there's nothing to be afraid of isn't going to make us feel better. Pro tip. We know it's illogical, and for those of us who are very logical people, it makes it more stressful because we can't logic our way out of why we feel this way. We can't figure out sometimes what triggers it. Now, I will tell you, certain situations, certain people, certain songs, even memories trigger anxiety, just like they can trigger sadness or anger or whatever else. But there are definitely times where the people that you love might just feel that way for no reason at all. Here are some things you can do to help them. When they are anxious, acknowledge that they're anxious. Let it be okay for them to feel how they feel. I know that's hard as a parent, especially because when my kids are hurt, my first instinct is, it's okay, you're fine, everything's okay. That doesn't really acknowledge what they're feeling. It doesn't tell them that their feelings are important. It tells them, I can't handle what you're feeling right now. Please minimize it so I feel safe. And sometimes that is what I'm doing, and I don't mean to. We trigger each other, right? But we trigger the hell out of each other. It's what we do. And I am anxious most of the time, with medication, with prayer, with meditation, with talking about my feelings constantly to the people in my life who are my safe people. I still feel anxious most of the time. On my best days, fully well-stocked, comfortable, safe, I'm about a 3 out of 10 on the anxiety scale. On my worst days, I'm a 12. Okay, that was creepy. My door just shut and I didn't even know it was open. But this week has been about depression, not anxiety. Started off with high expectations, Mother's Day, high expectations of what it was going to go like. And when you have kiddos that are not typical, things don't always go as they typically are planned, if that makes sense. Not throwing anyone under the bus, but there are things that happen when you have non-neurotypical children that they don't want to happen either. They don't necessarily mean to do the things they do, but it affects everyone in the family. Sometimes that leads to crying in the car on Mother's Day while being attacked by a child who is super angry and they don't know why. It happens. Sometimes it turns into a really ugly cry and 45 minutes of trying to buckle the child into their seatbelt so you can leave church. Not getting to hear your daughter sing at church the songs that she was so excited to sing for you. You know, it sucks. I hated it. In the moment, I was upset, mad, disappointed. My expectations for a normal day are here. And if something goes wrong, all right, not a huge fault. But when the expectation is here because it's Mother's Day and we're no longer quarantined and we're, vaccinated and things can maybe happen and we can have a fun time as a family and we're going to church and things come down to here, it's a much farther way to fall. It just didn't go well. It just didn't. And that spilled into the rest of the day being sad. It spilled into arguments with other kids in the house. It spilled even into the next day with more fighting. And ultimately, it left me in a place feeling very dark, very alone. And I haven't felt like that in a long time. Not to that degree. Ended up in a parking lot. Turned off my location so nobody could find me if I didn't want to be found. And I cried. I cried a lot. And I felt really sorry for myself. And that's embarrassing to say, but I did. And I have friends I could call. I have family I could call. And I didn't want to burden anybody. I didn't want to bother anybody. It's Mother's Day weekend. I didn't want to take away from anyone else's good day. And I'll tell you, I got mad at God. And I'm sorry to say that because it's not fair to him. Does he love me? Does he care? Does anyone care? And that line of thinking can spiral just into some really dark, depressing places. And that's kind of what happened to me this weekend. And in that moment, or in those moments, I came home, I rested. When you're feeling depressed, people love you, but it's hard to think of why they love you. And sometimes it's easy to forget what it is you bring to the table. It's easy to think things like, well, they wouldn't love me if they knew I XYZ, or if they knew I thought ABC, or if I couldn't do this for them anymore. They wouldn't love me. What do I have to offer? I'm not good enough. Who do I think I am to be able to raise these kids? What purpose do I serve? And my husband is very good at loving me through times like these. And so as someone who has been well loved and well taken care of in my mental health over the last 20 years of marriage with this man, I want to give you some tips. If you love someone with depression, or if you yourself suffer from depression, a friend of yours has depression, ways you can help them and yourself. The first thing, never tell someone that's already feeling depressed, what do you have to be sad about? You already have a nice husband, a home to live in, kids that love you. There's nothing to be sad about. Come on, buck up. Just snap out of it. Guys, would you ever tell someone with a broken leg, just walk on it, you're fine. Put a little ice on it, you're good. At least you still have that leg. You should be grateful. No, you wouldn't. And it's the same with mental health. We don't choose to feel this way. Trust me, this is not a choice. Also, giving that person space to feel their feelings in a safe environment might mean music, might mean alone time, Might mean their favorite comfort foods, whether they're on a diet or not. It might mean watching their favorite movies over and over, comfortable clothes, blankets, taking the day off of work, or putting chores aside, because sometimes the physical toll that depression takes on us is extremely draining. The amount of energy it takes just to keep going can be extremely physically demanding. And it sounds weird, but trust me, it's true. It's very true. For some people, physical touch is very important. Holding them, stroking their hair, comforting touch, like a mothering touch. Some people don't want to be touched at all. Find out. In our family, we have a touch or no touch. When someone's feeling anxious or depressed, it's a quick way to know, like, do you need a hug or do you need someone that you love? If they're feeling this way, they can feel very much not like themselves. I know for me, when I get into that mindset, when I get into that depression place or an extended period of anxiety, I forget temporarily what it felt like to not feel that way. And it's hard to remember that I won't feel like this again. It's hard to remember that this isn't permanent. It's hard to remember that it's a phase. Not a phase, but it's temporary. It's a season. It's not going to be all the time. For me, this time around, worst depression I've had in over a year, and it lasted 2.5 days maybe. But as soon as I started to feel more like myself, it was like, you just, I don't know, love me till I'm me again. Love them till they're them again. Remember, wait one more day. See what tomorrow brings. What really helped me feel more like myself, my daughter. She had gone to the store and she said, Mom, I got a few things for you to make you feel better. And let me tell you guys, this little toolkit of sorts that she put together for me could work wonders for somebody in your life, depending on what they like and how well you know them. She gave me bath salts, chocolate, a Diet Coke, and my husband said, I got the kids, go take a hot bath. I tell you, I ate those M&Ms in the bathtub like a monster. I drank that Diet Coke and I soaked in those bath salts and a face mask. There was a face mask. And it was so relaxing for an hour. I didn't worry about anyone but me. That's a lie. I checked my emails and replied back because that's what I do. But I just let the hot water wash it all away, and I just felt more like myself than I had felt in days. I got out of the tub and it was like I didn't even realize how bad I had been feeling till I felt better. And I was like, wow, I was really feeling bad. I didn't even realize how bad I was feeling. And once I felt better, it was easier to talk about it with my husband and with my kids and my best friend, and just to kind of like, here's where I was at, here's how I got there, I think, and so that they can help me next time I feel this way. And if there's next time, I feel like it's really important to be transparent about mental health struggles, because I know for me, I don't hear a lot of other people talking about it. So for me to talk about it, I only feel safe talking about it with someone who I know also struggles, because I'm afraid someone who doesn't struggle won't understand, or they'll judge me. I just need to know I have a safe place to fall. And if you can be that safe place for somebody, good on you. I think if you can help somebody, you can help them by making them a toolkit to help them be them again, reminding them that their pain is valid, even if you can't see it, even if you don't understand it. You're sorry that they feel that way. Letting them know that they will feel better soon. It might take time, giving them the space to feel comfortable physically and rest until they do feel better. Think of it how you would if your friend was sick. If they were physically sick, you would have an idea of what to do, right? Soup, blankets, hugs, do some errands for them, take some things off their plate. If they just had surgery, right? The way you would love on somebody who is physically sick is sometimes the way people with mental health issues need to be loved on. And well, I hope this helped. If you have mental health struggles, to feel heard, seen, more normal. If you love someone who's struggling, I hope this helped you to know that you're not alone either. We all love somebody who struggles with something. And I hope it gave you some ideas on how you might be able to help them or approach them the next time they need you. If you ever have any questions, if you ever want someone to talk to about this stuff, I'm an open book and I'm here. Reach out anytime. Until next time, I love you guys. Take care. Be safe.